Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off on Tuesday trading. You got a little bit of tariff talk. Trump says there's no more extensions. We got copper action out there, but S&P is holding steady. We're negative by just 3 points, and context is everything, folks. You know, we are basically at all-time highs. Okay, yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback yesterday. The pullback yesterday, all we did was give back July 3rd. That's it. We're sitting right now on July 2nd. Folks, you had a high at 62.79. We're trading at 62.72 right now. So in light of some of the letters going out, some of the tariffs, and everything going on in this market, handling things very well right now. We jump over the VIX, and you have a VIX that continues to trade lower at 1675 right now. That's well off the high of 1850 yesterday. NASDAQ in the green, up by 6 points right now, 22,890. You get the Dow off 0.3%, leading the way in the red, off 145 points at 44,532. And the Russell, negative by 17 or 8, positive, leading the way. The Russell catching the bid today at 2246, up by 0.8%. And yeah, so yields, dollar, so important right now. And this run the 10 years on, man, we're at 4.42%. And, you know, I find myself pivoting pretty quickly to say there's a real chance here that if the numbers line up they line up on the jobs number, it's going to be very difficult to get 2 to 3 cuts this year, I think. And then where do you go forward in May? And as the chairman would say, it's going to be data dependent. But things are changing quickly as you're up almost 25 basis points, almost a full quarter point cut in the last week alone. And that's given the dollar a little bit of a bid. And I say little, as in we just traded from 110 to 96. Yeah, we've bounced one. You want to see something wild? All right. This is where you want to put your brain when you say, all right, what kind of bounces are possible here? Still within a healthy bounce in a downtrend channel. You can get a bounce all the way up to 101. We could trade up to where we were on May 12th. And all that would be is a 382 of what we've done since the beginning of this year, which is a remarkable move. So dollar catching a bid, and yeah, gold pulling back a bit. But you jump over to the headlines, no tariff extension. Now, if the market really believed this, I think it would be lower, because that would be quite a severe risk coming down the line August 1st, right? But Trump vowed to push forward with the aggressive tariff regime, stressing he would not offer additional extensions. It's almost like he knows, as everyone was saying, there's just going to be more extensions. Now we get to find out what happens on August 1st in 3 weeks if they don't make a deal. And it's very hard to make those deals, as we're finding out. This is the 90 days. 90 days was tomorrow, July 9th. We have an extension to August 1st, but the market's not reacting as they shake it off, and the VIX is an important component of that, as the VIX with a 16 handle. And let's get to copper. So he's going to impose a 50% rate on copper products being sent into the U.S. And yeah, largest intraday gain on data going back to 1988. 50%. You got drug levies in there as well. I believe the tariff on copper, we're going to make it 50%. Yeah, it was up. Now, you talk about these equities, though. So Freeport gets a bid. They give it back slightly, but you're still up by 3.6%, and they have been on a tear already, some of these. And then you jump over to Southern Copper. They give it all back. Oof. It's got to be a tough day when you own Southern Copper and the president slaps a 50% tariff on it, and you catch a bid, and you're going to finish in the red. This market rolling over a bit right now. It's the S&Ps. So check a look at the, yeah, Southern Copper, okay? This is covered in the gold report. You get some big volume shares on the way up. You got a nice sign of strength. When we got the 90-day reprieve, this thing was diving lower, okay? You break out of that channel. If you can come back down here and get a nice channel test on lighter volume, that'd be a nice buy on Southern Copper. Now look at that chart. That's going back to May of 2024. Okay, and if you take a look at this chart, you can see you run up, and then, man, that was a well-defined channel on the downside. So that's a 3-year weekly going back. And then you take a look at Freeport McMoran, quite a different chart. Yeah, you had a run up, you did. Well, we're right where we were in January of 2023 right now. versus Southern Copper, we're still down at 73. Southern Copper's looking strong, man. You break out of this channel on a volume basis, we do these extraordinary days, but that was a nice sign of strength. 8.9 million shares the week of June 23rd as you broke out of that channel for Southern Copper. Freeport McMoran. Not quite the same level of volume. You're still going to be bumping up. Check it out. September 23rd. Look at that. That's last year. 102 million shares in September of last year for Freeport McMoran before you fell out of bed from 52 down to the lows of 27. And just like that, we're back at 50. But where are you bumping into? You're bumping into this bar from September 23rd when you did 102 million shares. But this is going to be some volume, so we'll see how it trades. Because look at this. We're on Tuesday, and we've already done 53 million. Yeah, big numbers. Then you jump around to some of the gold stocks. The XAU down about 4.3%. These equities just finished up a 1-to-1. So it makes sense. You consolidate and you're pulling back a bit. You're off by 4.3%. You jump over to the HUI. I mean, how perfect is that 1-to-1? Perfectly. Both of them. XAU, HUI, you complete it. Both of them off about 5% today, no matter where you jump around. Harmony shares off about 5% today. These are some of the strongest equities out there. New Gold's one of the strongest equities out there, down 5.6% today. All right. Let's jump around to some equities. Tesla up by 1.3%. So the report out there. SpaceX, how about a $400 billion valuation? Yeah, there it is. Elon, he's firing on all cylinders, man. $400 billion as they sell shares, and yeah, as you posted in the den. How about Mr. Zuckerberg, man? He is everywhere, right? I was talking about this morning. They poach an AI lead team lead from Apple that was managing 100 people over there. They poached them, but guess what? Yeah, how about $3.5 billion for Luxottica? Whew. They are really plowing into everything. And they have these glasses at Target. I've tried them on. They're pretty cool. It's got to make some progress, but man, as they acquire almost 3% of that company worth $3.5 billion, they are a partner now. They're an investor in that company, man. Wearables. Hey, what better wearable, right? Than glasses, watches,